This PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show.
You may have second thoughts after the show.
Don't drink the faucet.
We're really talented. We should get Oscars.
Just pick out a car, for Christ's sake.
No, hi, my name is Peter. Yeah, I want. Here's good.
Yeah.
Madam Perry.
I need to get back in the genie bottle.
Louis from Pennsylvania, you're on.
He likes it.
It's showtime.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad, Peter G Show.
That's right. It is showtime. Wednesday, right here. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show. Every Wednesday, like clockwork, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. on that East Coast. Beautiful day out today. I hope everybody's doing well. Another week flown by. I swear time is just really going. It's killing me. I don't know. I don't want to say it accounts for age, because there was times when like everything took forever. I mean, things that I did years ago felt like a lifetime. Like it, even bands I played in when I was a younger guy and starting out, the bands felt like you were in the band forever, and it was probably 7 months before they broke up. I mean, that's why I got tired of where I was living. It was like I was averaging about a band a year. And then I finally said, that's it. I'm leaving. I want to join a band that's together, and I want to get out on the road. And so I joined this one band. They were from Greenville, South Carolina. And then they ended up moving to Pensacola. So I didn't have to move. And then we went on the road. And then we did stuff for 5-6 years, was it? And then even that, music was changing, things changed, but it felt like forever, like it was a lifetime of stuff. I guess that's my point is. And now, blink. And it's like, boom, Merry Christmas. Boom, Happy Birthday. Boom, Merry Christmas. It's like, what have you done all year? I don't know. Anyway, at the end of the day, I'm grateful. I hope you are too. Ass aches and all. We got a great show tonight. We do. For some people will get upset. Again, you can't please everybody. It's just, but hang with me. I would like to even reach the ones that don't agree. I think that there's means and to understand and to take in and go, all right, I get it, kind of, or not. I realize there's just some men you just can't reach. It's going to happen. But there's a lot of people that are willing to listen, and that's what I hope you'll do. So thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about Doge, and more Doge, the misunderstandings, unless those of you that do understand, and why you're hating on old Elon Musk. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just trying to relay the message and hope it explains things to you. Take the time, sit down and listen. Tonight's going to be a good show. I got informative information, entertainment with a purpose right here tonight. So please, kick back. Let's do this. Comments, don't forget comments. You can comment live if you're watching from the official Facebook Peter G Show. You can comment live. I'll see your comments, hopefully. You can comment live if you're on the official YouTube Peter G Show. And I think you can still comment if you're on the official LinkedIn Peter G Show, live, that is. For those of you who may be listening and or watching this show at a later date after it's not live, you just take it all in and enjoy. That's what I want you to do. There you go. Let's start off the evening right with the first one. Good evening, Steve B. Thanks, brother. Thanks for joining in. That's what I like. See? Where are you watching from, Steve? What city? State? I mean, I know you're watching it on the internet. I know you're on YouTube, but where are you located? I like knowing where people live, because I think that we're scratching the surface when it comes to some parts of the United States. We're going to change all that probably by mid-year, start doing a little more research and advertising, all the above. But anyway, I like when you watch. I like when you join in. I like when you comment. I want to hear your opinions. Tonight, we might open up the phones after I play a few things for people who agree and or disagree. I really don't get a lot of people that disagree, and I wish I could more. All right, Illinois. What's that? Bourbonanus? I know it's got bourbon in it. I never heard of that place. Where is it? It must be a suburb, I would imagine. But either way, thanks. In Illinois, you shoveling snow? It was almost 80 degrees out today over here, Southern California. But believe me, I'm paying for it. And I'm getting tired of paying for it, but it is what it is. They're killing us. Anyway, I thank you for watching. Don't forget, I do like the comments, and if you want to, get up the cojones to make the phone call later on when I turn the phones on. But we are going to have a good, interesting show tonight. I really think it's going to help enlighten those who may have their, there's so much misinformation, political bullshit that's out there by our own media. They haven't learned their lesson yet. They got their asses kicked. They lost an election. They got their asses kicked because the people want change, and change is coming, and yet they're still fighting on nonsense, making up shit because there's nothing else to go on because it's correct. But that's what we're going to talk about tonight, and I hope you like it. There you go. There's my other brother from another mother. Where you at? Yay! Kick back and enjoy, my brother. 10 degrees. There we go. Listen, I'm just Steve and me hanging out at 10 degrees. Feels like 0 though, huh? That's good. It could be worse, I guess, right? You're used to it though. That's what you probably born and raised in it. All right. I also want to remind you, next week, I'm doing this because I'm going back to some of my roots, not the surviving divorce and single parenting, but just life, more like personal life stuff. Next week, I want you to mark this on your calendar. I want you to join in. I want you to join and watch. I think this is really important. Men's health. And I don't mean like working out health. I mean mental health. Next week, Wednesday, February 26th, I am going to talk about men's health, depression, and suicide. It's a really big topic. I've talked about it a few years ago. I haven't brought it up in quite a while. There's so many things going on. I have to pick and choose what I'm doing. But I think this is a super huge topic. I think I'm past two, I'm on like my second hand accounting how many people I personally have known and lost to depression and suicide in men that you never saw it coming. You just, all of a sudden you get the call or you see it on Facebook or something, so-and-so passed away, and it's like, whoa. I think it's real important. I'm going to have Jeff come on. Jeff is believe it or not, Jeff is an old friend. We're just going to call him Jeff. He's going to be on the phone. He doesn't want to come on camera, but believe me, when you hear his story, and his story is just like so many others who are suffering from this emotion that becomes so it's hard to overcome. It just engulfs you, and you just start going sideways, and you don't know why, and you just get lost in that moment, and that's when bad things start happening. But Jeff's going to join me next week. We're going to talk about men's health, mental health, depression, and I think it's a really important thing. It's Wednesday, February 26th, right here on the Peter G Show. I know when I had this conversation with him about coming onto the show that it's not only about him, it's about him sharing a story for so many who are going through this, and I just think it's super important. So I hope you'll join me next week as I steer away from current events, which is really hard to do, but this is important, man. This is life and death, actually, and it happens. So join me, okay? Hold on. Smooth. I want to talk to you. Anybody by any chance catch NASCAR last Sunday? Any of you guys into it was the Daytona 500. It's the start of NASCAR season. Now, I'm not a super big fan of it, but I am a fan of it. I kind of come and go. But back in the early 2000s, I mean, I swear I wrote a movie around NASCAR, and I still need to get that movie done. I say that all the time, and then I get busy. And it's like I know I don't write movies, but I got out of bed one night and wrote this whole movie about. You'll see one day. Either way, I like NASCAR. I watched it, but I noticed something about NASCAR. Now, NASCAR is when they build race cars. That's how technology advances. They're building race cars. They're building, Toyotas, Fords, this and that, and that's how all that technology implements eventually into the consumer car. They figure out ways how to do this, how to get better efficiency, how to get more horsepower with this, and blah blah blah. You know what I'm talking about. But I'm looking at the lineup. I think there was 41 or 42 cars that started in that race. I saw Toyota. I saw Chevy. I saw Ford. And that was it. I didn't see Honda. And I didn't see, of all cars, Dodge. There wasn't a Dodge race car on that field. And it just blew my mind because, the Viper and the Dodge Hellcat and all that. I'm going, what's with these racing teams and nobody wanted to touch Dodge? It kind of makes you think. And Honda. What else? There's a few more. But it just kind of blew my mind now because Chevy, back in the old days, in the 80s and back and all that, they were badass. I mean, they had things that would run and keep running. But nowadays, they don't have any decent cars that last very long. Their trucks look good, but they don't last either. Transmission problems, blah, blah, blah. All these manufacturers, they just don't build them like they used to. I wish they did. That's why I'm not giving up my truck. My truck is older, but it was one of the last of before it's just, 43-speed transmissions. I mean, more shit to go wrong, for fuel economy and blah, blah, blah. But there wasn't a single Dodge in the Daytona 500. And I'm just kind of blown away. There you go. Let's see what we got here. Chris says, I just hit 300,000 miles on my Ford F-150 03. Cool. I'm at 215, 216. And it purrs like a kitten. I mean, at this point, if anything breaks, it's maintenance. It's not repairs. Good for you. That's the way they should be. They all should be like that. Cool. Thanks for chiming in because I'm not the only one, I have an 04. That's when they changed body styles. I was going for an 03 and then they came out with that. And I don't usually like buying the first year, but it's been good to me. And I'm not giving it up. It still looks really good for its age, considering it's lived its whole life outside in the hot California sun. But it's doing well because trucks are expensive. Cars are expensive. We'll get to that in a minute when I talk to you about my good friends over at Clean Star Products with their money-saving fuel additive DX1 driver. That's right. But anyway, I didn't see a single Dodge in the Daytona 500. That really got me thinking because I'm going, well, Chevy's in there, and they're having their problems too. But I guess when you got all kinds of money, you can build an engine that actually runs and works. But I'm going, why isn't Dodge? That's the same thing. It's the same thing. So it just blew my mind kind of, but it was, and then it rained. And so the race, they had to stop the race 2 times and it just took forever. But towards the end of that race, my God, if you saw that, the last couple of laps and one of those cars flying through the air at 190 miles an hour, just the air caught it. They had wrecks. That's what NASCAR is all about. That's what keeps people there. And the guy walked away. And he didn't get to win either. He was going to win. That's the way it goes. Anyway, just had to bring that up. I'm just kind of shocked. Dodge is about as American, as apple pie and Chevrolet too. Ford was in the race. Just wondering if you noticed. Just wondering. Secondly, I want to thank everybody. My Instagram needle is finally moving forward. I've been on Instagram for years. I just put stuff on there. I don't really work that hard at it, but it just never could pick up people. And all of a sudden, for some reason, it started to grow. So whoever's following me and watching all the shorts on Instagrams, thank you. Thank you very much. It's about time. I'm not a good quitter. I just keep on hitting it, even if it's uphill all the way. But that's the way it goes in this business. Everybody wants to be somebody. I mean, as mentioned to me the other day or last month, whatever it was, it's like, who doesn't have a podcast now? You pick up a phone and you're live. Right? And some people, it's so raw and they're killing it. So I'm doing all this. I'm going, why? I should probably be sitting in bed doing it and probably get, more followers. But again, here we are. This is what I do. Hi, my name is Peter G, and thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. I do. And lastly, before we go to commercial, have you ever known anybody to say, hey, they're like the luckiest people on the planet? Luckiest people on the planet. Do you know anybody like that? Anybody? Like, they hit the lottery or something? Because the other day, I'm sure you all know, I mean, we've been having these weird plane crashes and things like that. But the other day, a regional jet, I fly on those all the time, crashed in Canada, flipped over, wings broke off, turned upside down, and 80 people survived. Everyone survived. And I think they have to be the luckiest people on the planet, because it doesn't usually work that way. I mean, here, let me refresh your memory. This is a quick, I don't have the people popping out of the plane and stuff upside down, buckled up upside down. You don't know, unless you're a fighter pilot, jet pilot, when you go upside down, you don't have any bearings. You lose everything. But here, this is a refresher in case anybody's missed it, which you'd have to be living under a rock. But then again, I do know a lot of people like that, and they're good people. They just don't pay attention.
Oh, no. Tower, you're seeing this airplane just crash.
Somebody just happened to be filming plane landing. I think what saved their asses was the fact that they landed in snow. I mean, somewhat of snow. You saw that clip today. It happened days ago, but yeah, all right. Luckiest people on the planet, Chris. God was watching over those people, all 80 of them. Couple of little injuries, but considering, can you imagine you're sitting on that plane? And, there was an interview with one guy. He says everything was cool. He thought, everything felt normal until they touched the runway. And then everything went chaotic. Takeoff and landings are the most dangerous parts of every plane flight. But in my mind, those are the luckiest people right now in the entire planet. How they got to walk away, incredible. But I do attribute the fact that there was snow and that reduced the sparks on the runway. Even though everything was flaming because the wing snapped off, which jet fuel was spilling all over the place, but the plane was moving away from the jet fuel as the fires were going on behind them. Even though a little bit of fire came about underneath the fuselage, they made it. The plane did not burn. And I attribute that snow. So if you don't believe in religion or don't whatever, you should. At least it won't hurt you. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because that was truly a miracle, at least in my eyes. And I don't know, I watched this stuff. It's like it could have been anybody USA on that plane. Could have been you, could have been me, anybody. And it was those people, and they got to live and tell about it. So God bless them. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I want to talk about Doge, and more Doge, Elon Musk, why people are hating on him. And, let's try to look on the positive side of it and what's really going on and not believe all the media, because the haters are hating because he's dipping into their cookie jar, so to speak. But I do want to, we're going to get into it. I'm going to play you some things, and then maybe we'll take a phone call or two if I can blow through this stuff fast enough. But we're going to do that. But first, I want to hear from my good friends over at Clean Star Products with their money-saving fuel additive DX1 driver, because it does make sense to save money and fuel on all your cars, new and old, because cars are expensive. I'm starting to sound like Joe Biden. Cars are expensive. Don't sniff anybody. All right, stop. Be right back.
Let us help you with the high price of fuel. Hello, I'm Ty Thompson at CleanStarProducts.com. We can optimize your engine, saving you money and gas. Here's how. Our program works the same with gasoline and diesel engines. Whether you're using a car pack or SUV pack, the instructions are the same. Add 1 bottle to your engine oil, and each time you change your oil, add 1 bottle to the fuel tank each and every fuel fill-up. It's that easy. You get 10% fuel economy on average, lower emissions, and increased horsepower. DX1 sells for $2 an ounce, so for just a few dollars a fuel tank, you can optimize your engine, saving you money and gas. Come on, give it a try. It's the finest green-grade oil in the world from a California environmental company. You're going to feel it when you drive. Order online today. We'll get it out right away. CleanStarProducts.com/shop.
That's right, Clean Star Products. I'm telling you, they do have a product that works, especially for those of you who have high mileage vehicles, as I do. I noticed it within the first 3 or 4 tanks. It's real simple. Now I'm going to show you the big bottle. This is considered the big bottle. This is for SUVs and pickup trucks and all that kind of stuff. And this little bitty bottle, I mean, this bottle is even smaller. This is for regular 4-door sedans and all that. But all you do is take one of these. When you get a fresh oil change, you pop this little bitty bottle and pour it into the oil crank case. It lasts the whole entire oil change. And every time you fill up your tank, you pour one of these into the tank and let it mix in with the full tank of fuel. That's it. I noticed the difference after about 3 or 4 tanks of fuel that I wasn't having to step on the pedal as much to get the truck to move. I had a heavy truck. It's the last of the big heavy ones. And it made a difference. My daughter even noticed it because she borrows the truck to go pick up hay for her horse. Hey! Anyway, I was going to tell a joke. Next time. But don't believe me. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to www.cleanstarproducts.com. I want you to call them. There's a number. Look, I even put it up now, okay? There's their website, cleanstarproducts.com. There's their telephone number. They want to talk to you personally because you're going to have questions. Look, I was skeptical about all this stuff too. I was. But I tried it. They're proud of their product. They have a product that works, and it does work. I mean, it does work. And then once you clean out your engine, at least put one in every other tank or every tank. It's cheap to keep. And not only does it give you 10% better fuel economy, it flushes out all the crap that's going on in your engine, carbon buildup and all that. You get more lubricity. The engine moves freely. Good food, good body. Same thing for your car. Call them. They'll answer all your questions. And at that point, should you decide to order, this is the important part. Mention you saw it on the Peter G Show. Why? Good question. Tell them you saw it on the Peter G Show. They will send you 5 bottles of DX1 Driver for the price of 4. Okay? Come on, a deal's a deal. 5 bottles for the price of 4. That's the perfect starter kit. It is. Because you put one in the crankcase in your oil change, and then it gives you 4 tanks of gas to get that product in there to flush out all that stuff and get your engine doing better. You'll notice, I'm telling you, you're going to notice the difference, and you're going to want to stick to the program because it works. It works. The bottom line is it's taking care of your vehicle. It's cheap to keep. Cars are expensive. Who wants to keep buying cars? It'll make your car last even longer, more than 300,000 miles, the way cars should last. Most people freak out. They go, man, my car's got 100,000 miles. I'm going to trade it in, because a lot of cars crap out at 100,000 miles. And if you do a lot of driving, that's nothing. That's nothing. But it is what it is. So do me a favor. Call the number. Let them know that you watched it, saw it on the Peter G Show. Should you decide to order, get that deal. 5 bottles for the price of 4. It's real simple. Real simple. All right? Cool. So, sorry, I got semi-distracted because I'm always wanting to see things. And this is the ones that just really kill me right here. Let's see. Here we go. Patricia, why are we watching this? I don't know. Why are we watching this? Because you want to be entertained? You want to learn something tonight? Or you can say, backhanded compliments to me. I like it. Why wouldn't you want to be watching this, Patricia? Or if you don't, you can go watch TikTok or something like that. But I appreciate it if you watch it, because you might want to comment after this, because you're either going to love me or hate me or understand where I'm coming from. Because I love everybody. I don't care if you disagree with me on things. It doesn't matter. But maybe she's not even watching anymore. But if you are, let me know that you're still watching. That's what I need. I need more people like Patricia who don't understand. I do. Speaking of understand, let's get to the understanding, all right? I'm ready. I don't know about you. I'm ready to start explaining a few things. Lucy, you got some explaining to do. All right, but first things first, because you guys, stuff makes me thirsty. Why are we watching this? Like, I twisted her arm. I sent a crew over there, and we forced her to watch the show, and she complaining about it. We're asking, maybe she's just inquisitive. You're watching this because you're going to say, wow, who is this guy? Not bad. He's pretty smart. That's what you ask. All right, so I told you that we're going to talk about Doge, and Elon Musk. Like them, love them, hate them. Don't, they fear-mongered you into saying, this is going to be disastrous. They're taking over the country, blah, blah, blah. Decide after we talk about this. You're entitled to your opinion, your decisions, but all I'm telling you is that the media has not learned their lesson, and they are still kicking and screaming and spreading bullshit. And if you want to buy into that program, it's all your business. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm going to try to show you things to make you think and go, well, I didn't know that. I didn't see that. I only saw what MSNBC DNC is talking about. They're the worst. I never would have thought our news would have turned into a Iranian propaganda machine, state-run television, but they have. So here's the band Beard. This guy, I like this guy. I've played him in the past. He's pretty smart, and he really spells things out. And explaining to you, it's like, why are you hating on Elon Musk? Why? No, because, and I know why. Because they're programming you to hate the guy. You used to love the guy. All the libs, they all bought the electric car and this and that. We're going to go green, blah, blah, blah. He makes a good product. But now they hate him because he's doing what's right. Except they're not telling you he's doing what's right. They're trying to make you hate him now because he's doing what's right. And it's affecting a lot of these higher authorities' pocketbooks, or it's going to, possibly even jail. This is the band Beard explaining it. So here, check this out, and then we'll talk some more.
Musk's position is proving why Americans are fucking stupid. It is. Number one, you have to be constantly reassured by Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer that Elon Musk wasn't elected. Well, who the fuck didn't know that? He's not doing a position that requires election, nor is he doing a position that requires congressional approval. He's auditing the books, but you're getting exactly what you've always been wanting and asking for. The money is being exposed, but it doesn't matter to you. You're angry because of who's doing it. You're not looking at the hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars, if not trillions, that have been wasted and pissed away as they've told you that we don't have any money for you. As they've told you that kids have to suffer because we can't afford to give them school lunches, or we can't afford to secure the border, or we can't afford to take care of North Carolina, California, and other states. As we find out, billions upon billions of dollars are being wasted on the most mind-numbingly stupid fucking shit on the planet. Forget about the fact that going all the way back to 9/11, they've been telling us about trillions of dollars that they can't be accounted for. Fuck the fact that Zelensky told us they can't account for 58% of the money we've sent them, which is about $100 billion of lost money. Forget the fucking fact that Sam Bankman-Fried told you in his own voice we were laundering money in the same country. You're getting the visibility that you've asked for, and you found a way to be fucking mad about it. That's how fucking stupid Americans are.
All right, he gets pretty emotional about it, but he's speaking the truth. I hope you're paying attention. He's just trying to explain to you what's really going on. And again, you can take it or leave it. You don't believe me? I don't know who likes Joe Rogan and who doesn't, but he's pretty damn popular. Here's his version of it. All right?
That's fucking amazing. And then this other thing about Elon. Elon's going to steal everybody's money. He has $400 billion. I'm telling you, he's not going to steal your money. I'm telling you, that's not what he's doing. What he's doing is He's a super genius that's been fucked with. Okay? And when you've been fucked with by these nitwits that hide behind 3-letter agencies, and you're dealing with one of the smartest people alive, and he helps Donald Trump get in office, and he goes, I want to find out what kind of corruption is really around. Well, you fucked up. You fucked up and picked the wrong psychopath on the spectrum, because he's going to hunt you down. He's going to find out what's going on. And that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really fucking corrupt and goofy systems and bringing in a bunch of psychopath wizards.
He makes a valid point. He's bringing in bright people. Let's face it. You know, I mean, I look at, you know, stuff like my daughter, you know, and I'm not that slow. I'm pretty savvy. But when she's with me and we're doing something that requires information, she beats me. She gets to it like in a second. I don't even know she's doing it. She's doing it so quick. On her phone. I mean, we're both on our phones, but and she's like, oh, she's looking at me like old people. So Elon's smart. He goes and gets these guys that are full of energy, that are, you know, really top notch. I mean, if you were running a business, wouldn't you get want the best and the brightest? That's what he does. That's what the Orange Man did. He just said it yesterday on an interview. He wanted the best and the brightest. He couldn't find anybody smarter than Elon. Elon was ready to do it. He doesn't need your money. He doesn't need your Social Security, all the threats that they're talking about, taking away and blah, blah, blah. It's all lies. But they're so scared because he's going to catch them with their hands in the cookie jar. And he's not even getting paid to do it. He's doing it for free. While he runs his rocket ship companies, while he runs his car companies, he's got all this stuff going on. And he's doing this for the country. How can you be mad at this man? The only way you can be mad at this man is if you're believing the bullshit propaganda that's being told on television. He's after you. He's Nazi this and blah, blah, blah. Stop. Stop and listen. And stop listening to that crap. We voted for the Orange Man, whether you like it or not, because we wanted change. There's money, so much money. We have homeless people and veterans and people on welfares and sick people, and our money's going everywhere but what it should. And these people in only a few short weeks are already proving that we probably could have taken care of this country 5 times over. And they're just getting started. They're just getting started. They clearly he admits, you know, they're going into some things and they're slashing this and saying, okay, enough of this. And they're going to make some mistakes and they'll reevaluate a few things. There's a few good people in all these areas that are probably going to get cut, but they'll probably get picked up again because they're going to, you know, go through it a little bit with a fine tooth comb and go, all right, we see where that's necessary. I get it. There's going to be some people getting hurt because a whole bunch of people are going to get laid off. But Joe Biden didn't think twice when he laid off all those people for the pipeline. 10,000 workers, boom, first day in office, just stop that pipeline, cut them all off. They were all jobless. And what did he say? They'll learn to do something else. This isn't about that. Completely different thing. We're trying to cut back on all this stuff. If you're okay with giving, you know, millions of dollars for Guatemalan sex change operations, I want to talk to you. If you're okay with millions of dollars going to Afghanistan Sesame Street show, I want to talk to you. But don't believe me. You're getting mad at the Orange Man and Elon Musk for doing something that prior administrations have said they were going to do. They just didn't really do it. But we're talking from decades ago. Decades ago. Here, remember Bill Clinton? Old Bill Clinton? Don't believe me? Here, why weren't you mad at him then? You probably weren't paying attention back then, but we are now. But this is the same thing. It's like tape don't lie. I love this. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Check it out.
People demand and deserve an active government on their side. But they don't want a government that wastes money, a government that costs more and does less, They voted for change. They wanted a literal revolution in the way government operates, and now you and I must deliver. Yesterday, I announced the reorganization of the White House staff that will reduce our staff by 25% and cut costs by $10 million per year. Today, I have called you, the members of the Cabinet, together to take the next step, to begin the overhaul of government as a whole. The steps we're taking today will save the American taxpayers $9 billion. They won't be easy, but they will make a difference. We have an obligation and an opportunity to change the way government works and to show that government can do more with less.
That was Bill Clinton back in, I think, 1993, saying the exact same thing that we voted on for the orange man to do. And 2 weeks now, okay, tomorrow will be a month when he was brought into office. But a month in, they're on fire. They're going for it. They're doing what they said they're going to do without a moment to waste. That simple. What does Steve say? Go learn code. Yeah, that's what Biden told them. All the the pipeline workers when he laid them all off. Go learn code. You know, basically go pound sand. You know, figure it out. Go get a different type of job. Easy for him to say. Now, again, the orange man and Elon, they're not firing the good people or letting things go on purpose, but they have to do something. And if you just happen to be in some job, you might be a good person, but it's a bullshit job with the government, they're going to let you go or move you around. You know, don't just go willingly, just appeal it, whatever. If you think you have a valid reason for being there. A lot of these federal workers, they're choosing the buyout because they know they're wrong. They're going to pay them for like 8 months. Who gets that? I don't. I don't know about many of you get 8 months, you know, pay for the future. You guess then you got 8 months. You get up from day 2 and start looking for something else. But you got 8 months to figure it out. Of pay, not unemployment, actual pay. Because we all know unemployment doesn't do shit. It's better than nothing, but it still doesn't pay the rent. But that was Bill Clinton, yeah, from the 90s. Now, here's the real kicker. Because your own boy, Biden and Obama, said the exact same thing several years ago. And nobody raised hell about that. Plus the fact that they really didn't keep their promises. I mean, they probably did something. But the bottom line was nobody was complaining about it and raising and screaming and yelling. So whatever they did do, it went unnoticed. And they didn't do much. Because look at us. We're trillions in debt. Trillions. But here, this is, again, tape don't lie. I love it. I love it. Here you go.
Budget reform is not an option. It's a necessity.
The American people are entitled to transparency.
We can't sustain a system that bleeds billions of taxpayer dollars on programs that have outlived their usefulness or exist solely because of the power of politicians, lobbyists, or interest groups.
They're entitled to be able to figure out where their dollars are going, and they're entitled to accountability to make sure that we're using the dollars for what we said it was for.
We are going to go through our federal budget, as I promised during the campaign, page by page, line by line, eliminating those programs we don't need and insisting that those that we do need operate in a sensible, cost-effective way.
What should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't benefit anybody.
We hope to be instilling an entire new culture that not only our administration, but every succeeding administration will in fact pursue.
No amount of waste is acceptable, not when it's your money.
True. No amount of waste is acceptable when it's your money. They said it themselves. This is the same thing that went on with the border. I played videos of Obama deporting people. But all of a sudden, it's a problem now. When the orange man's wanting to get rid of the illegals that are criminals. Criminals. We just let them walk right in. And they're gonna, you don't think that it's gonna deter this country? There's already killings, rapes, murders, drugs, trafficking, you name it. It's only gonna get worse and worse and worse as they keep on infiltrating. And you're all upset about it. Not everybody. I'm speaking to the chosen few, like the ones who Patricia says, why are we watching this? It's like, I don't know who we is. I'm here because I want to be here. And I think there's a few that want to be here. I want to read you something. So something I found, and it's all about Doge, okay? It reads, I came across a lawyer, Tom Rentz, who actually read Trump's Doge executive order and, expecting some legal power grab, found it to be airtight. Turns out Trump and Musk didn't create anything. Obama did. Remember this. Obama did. Obama created United States Digital Service, USDS, in 2014. It was meant to be a bureaucratic patch job to fix the Obamacare website meltdown. Anybody remember that? Friggin' mess. Never worked. Obamacare doesn't work. Their website said, well, nothing worked. Okay? This is why Elon's in there. He says the same thing. It's time to get rid of the old and start doing things in a more efficient way. Anyway, fast forward to 2025, Trump rebrands it Doge, United States Doge Service, keeps the acronym, keeps the funding, but gives it a whole new mission. Find the receipts. Legally untouchable because it was already fully funded and operational. Trump invokes 5 USC 3161, which allows him to create temporary hiring authorities. Doge teams get embedded inside every single federal agency. Each team consists of a lawyer, HR rep, a Zoomer nerd, and an investigator. They report to Doge, not the agency they're embedded in. Okay? So they're going to go in there. This is the first time we're really going after. Government has just been growing and growing and growing, and we're getting nothing out of it. We're spending and spending. You're not feeling it, but we're feeling it. You know what I mean? You're feeling it. You just don't realize it because they've been doing it one hair at a time until you're bald. But at the beginning, you don't notice the baldness because they're only pulling one hair out at a time. Till they pull so many, you wake up one morning and you go, what the hell happened? We're at that what the hell happened mode right now. And they're doing something about it. It's really simple. Anyway, but wait, there's more. Trump invokes 44 USC Chapter 35, which governs federal IT and cybersecurity oversight. Since the USDS was originally an IT oversight body, Doge now has full access to all federal data systems. Yes, that's right, all of them. His executive order is written to block legal challenges, includes languages that override conflicting executive orders, orders every agency to comply. Refusal means violate presidential authority. Congress can't defund it because it's not a new program, just a repurposed one. DOJ can't sue for overreach because Trump used existing laws exactly as written. Democrats trying to file legal challenges run into standing issues because Doge operates within existing frameworks. Obama literally built the perfect administration. Deep state IT backdoor. Thanks, Obama. Trump and Musk just hacked the system and took the administrative controls. Musk now has legal oversight of every major agency's internal systems. The administrative state can't stop it without rewriting multiple federal laws. They legally outplayed the system, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Now, when I say nothing anyone can do about it, we don't mean that in a, like, we just screwed you, we're going to take over. They're doing what's right. They promised they wanted to go in and audit the government, and that's what they're doing. And now the government is having a hissy fit because they know that they're going to get caught on wasted spending. Not just like little dollars, a lot of money. A lot of money. Billions and billions. Trillions, actually. So they used, this is where the smart comes in. They used existing law to create this. Trump got good people in there. Again, if you had a business, and the government is a business, you can say whatever you want to say. It involves money that goes and comes. And we are on the verge of going broke. You just don't know it. because they tell you otherwise. And you got good, smart people in there, and now they're going at it. And all I can say is let them go at it. The only people kicking and screaming are the ones that run the divisions and federal organizations and agencies who have their hands in the cookie jar, who know that there's corrupt things going on, and they've been feeding and filling their own pockets. It's simple. Otherwise, they wouldn't be kicking and screaming. It's like when you go and get audited, I think everybody tries to push their taxes. Everybody. I don't care if you make $40,000 a year. You don't want to pay taxes. Who does? But yet we don't have a say-so, and you can't audit us. And this whole baloney about, Elon Musk is going to know your social security numbers and all that. It's like, who doesn't know your social security numbers? He owned PayPal. He doesn't need your social security numbers. He doesn't need your money. You got to get that through your heads. Not all. The ones who are indecisive and been watching MSNBC and CNN and CBS and ABC and NBC and all that stuff. He doesn't need your money. He's a billionaire. He's the richest man in the world who's on a mission. He's getting off more on wanting to fix this country and find all this. That's his drive. He's not even getting paid for this. He's doing it for free, by the way. So is the Orange Man. The Orange Man has never gotten paid for being president, not even his first term. He didn't take $1. Show me another president who didn't take the money for getting paid. Guess what? There are none. Biden got paid. Obama got paid. They all took their paychecks. Why bother unless you're really committed? Just saying. They're on a roll. They're just getting started. All these people who are kicking and screaming, all I can tell you is stop getting stupid about the price of eggs just went up. Stop it. He's been in office for 3.5 weeks. They're just getting rolling. They still don't have all their cabinet put in place, but they're doing it faster and more efficient than anybody has ever seen ever. Let them do their job. It's for your benefit, whether you think so or not. Let's talk in a year from now, for starters, because we got 4. But they want to get it done. They know how important it is to get it done, to prove to you, the American citizen, especially the naysayers, because of all the propaganda. They want you to hate them. I get it. They want you to hate them. All right. The other big gripe, there's so many. They're attacking the education system. The Orange Man wants to end the federal funding of the education system, which is fine, which they mislead you. They're not going to just end the education system. They're going to give the money to each state individually, but they don't want the overall government putting every single state, county, city, town under one map and generically doing it all. Every state, county is different. The learning curve is different. The area is different. Let them decide to figure out how to teach their kids in their own areas. They're still going to have to be held to certain standards, but he's not going to let the federal government just oversee it because they've done a shitty job. We've spent more money per pupil and have some of the lowest ratings of education. How does that make sense? If you were at a job and you weren't doing your job good, are they going to keep keeping you there? No, they're not. They're going to fire your ass. He's not taking away anything. But again, they've programmed you. He's going to kill, the education for our children, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's this dude talking about the whole education system. I hope that this helps you understand to where you'll stop hating on this. Not everybody, chosen few.
Okay, so it was announced that the Department of Education is on the chopping block to be shut down by the Trump administration. And some people are confused and upset as to what that means. So let's talk about it. When the Department of Education first started in 1979, it had 3 main goals: administer federal funding for education, collect and analyze data on schools and students, and enforce federal education laws that relate to civil rights and equal access. Notice that nothing I listed mentioned giving them power to set educational standards. That's something that's left up to the states, right? Not quite. The Department of Education requires that all schools and states that accept federal funding have to follow certain guidelines and standards, which essentially gives them control over what's being taught in schools and basically puts all states and schools on a one-size-fits-all education model. This means that students in places like Malibu, California, and rural Alabama are forced to follow the same curriculum and teaching methods despite obvious economic and cultural differences that impact how students learn. Now, this wouldn't be so bad if the reading and math scores in the U.S. were on the rise, but it's the complete opposite. According to the National Assessment of Educational Progress, U.S. reading and math scores have dropped to the lowest level in decades. And the sad part, this isn't even a new trend. Based on the most recent assessment, reading scores have reached a historic low, with 33% of 8th graders reading below the lowest level. For 4th graders, the number is even higher, with 40% of 4th graders reading below the lowest level. That's the highest percentage in roughly 20 years. And what makes this worse is that the US spends more money on education than almost every other country in the world by far. So this model clearly does not work, and it's not something that you can just throw money at to fix. The other big issue is college loan and grant funding. College has become completely unaffordable, and the current student loan debt in America is about $1.7 trillion. What most people fail to mention is that the reason that college is so expensive is because of the Department of Education. Why wouldn't a school continue to raise its prices if they know that the Department of Education is going to give students loans for any amount of money and they're not tied to the performance of the student nor the performance of the school? It's free money. Removing the Department of Education will force colleges to lower tuition overnight because no students will be able to afford it otherwise, and those schools will go out of business. There are several colleges right now that don't accept federal funding, and their tuitions are way lower, plus their students experience way fewer issues when it comes to student debt when they graduate. There are also already states that have stepped up and started to offer student loans that are more affordable than what the federal government offers. So yes, we have real world examples of what this could look like without the Department of Education, and they seem to be effective.
One can only hope. I'm hoping that they get this all straightened out and that college tuitions go down. They're astronomical. I don't know if anybody out there has kids getting ready or are in college. It's ridiculous how much school tuitions are. Ridiculous. I'd love to see them start dropping their prices, because I got to tell you, even their form of education is not a very good standard. I mean, all they're doing is brainwashing kids, and I hope they get that out of the way too. Stop with the bullshit and let them learn. Teach them what they need to know instead of a bunch of just crazy, idealistic ideas about nonsense. We don't care. They don't need to go to college for social engineering. They need to learn stuff: math, science, medicine, law, engineering, simple things. The norm. Now I'm going to show you why these people are screaming and what liars they are. Let's take Elizabeth Warren, for example, Pocahontas. She is screaming loud because she's somebody who's made a lot of money being in government, and she's going to get busted too. They're so in fear of the orange man. But this was just a few short years ago. Her talking was pretty much the truth. Again, tape don't lie. I love it. I would say, how do you deny this? She's I was getting ready to start using foul language more. Just watch this. This is Elizabeth Warren in about 2010 talking about things that we're talking about right now.
I was talking to someone who spent many years as a prosecutor, and he said, when that much money disappears, it's usually because somebody broke some laws somewhere. But if we don't look, if we don't ask, if we don't uncover it and make it all public, we'll never find out.
Where is the criminal investigation that needs to happen here?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen it at all. What the government didn't do is it didn't turn around and say, you lost how much money, and you wiped out how many pensions, and you wiped out how many jobs. I want to know who did what, whether or not any laws were violated, where the gaps are in the system that would permit this to happen. I want to hold somebody responsible. Responsibility is not just about blame. Responsibility is about making sure we fix this and it will not happen again.
I am in total agreement with her. That's the Elizabeth Warren I'd like to support. But I can't, because the now, that was the then Elizabeth Warren. But the now Elizabeth Warren is the exact opposite. What happened? How'd that change? It changed because it's anybody but the orange man. They're just so against, because now they're all going to get busted, because while they were saying all that stuff, they'd never do all that stuff. All talk, no action. Orange man came into office now. It's promises made, promises kept. Here's the now Elizabeth Warren scaring you into eternity about how awful things are going to be. Check it out.
In the building behind me, Elon Musk is seizing power from the American people.
No, he's not. He's doing what the American people voted for. We voted for the Department of Government Efficiency to come in and clean up all the waste in the system. In order for them to do that, that requires them to have access to the financials and see where money is being sent. This isn't complicated, but let's let her continue.
Elon Musk spent $280 million to buy an election for Donald Trump. Now, Elon Musk is here to collect on his investment.
So what, is he gonna steal the money out of my grandma's retirement account and deposit it in his account? What is he doing to collect on his investment? For one, he does not have the power to redirect any payments. He only has view-only access. But that's not convenient for the Democrats' fear-mongering. The reason he invested that money into the election is because he saw the Democratic Party as a threat to our civilization. He said this himself. I'm not saying this. He also has seen what the Democratic Party's ideals and values have done to one of his own children. But let's let her fear-mongering tirade continue.
He is here to seize power for himself. We are here to fight back. Yes.
They look so goofy. This is so goofy. They're just using the fact that he's wealthy and a billionaire, right, to manipulate people into supporting Democrats and hating Elon Musk so the Democrats can get back in power. That's all she's doing. And it's gross. Notice she never tells you how he's seizing power. He's a billionaire, he's rich, and he's got access, and he's doing everything for himself, and he bought an election. You should not vote for him or the Republicans, you should vote for us. We're good, we're moral, we're fighting against it. Shut up. No, you're not. You're manipulative. Let's see how else this individual tries to manipulate people.
Musk has grabbed control of America's payment system. Yes. This is the system that makes sure that your grandpa gets his Social Security check on time.
For one, he didn't grab control. He was given access to view where transactions are going. If his job is to eliminate unnecessary and wasteful spending, yes, he needs to be able to view where the money's going. So he has view-only access to the system. She's out here telling you that he has control of it, and then she's fear-mongering, trying to get people to freak out about, oh, my grandma's Social Security check, all my benefits, he might just rip it away. She's trying to scare you, and she should be called out for it. She's choosing specific words to paint a specific perception of what's happening when that is not actually accurate. For example, he grabbed control. No, he was given access by the federal government to view this and recommend what things should be cut. She wants to manipulate people's perception to get them to think something that's not true, so they will vote against the right. And she's also trying to destroy Elon Musk's reputation and his credibility. It's disgusting. They keep trying to manipulate people. We need to keep calling it out.
She is such a blowhard. She's gotten worse and worse. Everything's like, oh dear. I hope that makes sense. Again, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, believe me, I don't care. It just got to make sense. Everybody's bagging on Elon now. The guy's not an idiot, and he's not afraid. Because he knows he's not an idiot. Kind of evident. He's picking up rockets and they're landing, and he's catching it with friggin' 2 metal arms. They're catching the rocket now. He's getting ready to go save those astronauts that the last administration abandoned up in space. He's not a friggin' idiot. And he's not doing it to line his pockets. He doesn't need your money. He doesn't need it. He's trying to keep the money back in our pockets. Should have been done a long time ago, but that's government. That's just the way it is. But this is going to be a good slashing. Like I said, I don't care, Democrat, Republican, although they want to keep everybody divided. Makes total sense. Get less done with a bunch of division. But why wouldn't you want more money and for this country to do better and you do better? We gave all that money. That's your money, whether you're giving $10 away to taxes or $10,000 away a year for taxes. Still your money. And for some people to give up $10, $10 is $10. I know a lot of people are living hand to mouth. Hard. That's like something for them. I remember years ago, George Bush, was it the first George Bush or George Bush? I didn't like either of them. But he gave a $200 stimulus check. This is whatever year it was. This is a while ago. $200. And I remember hearing some people that I know, they go, got me my stimulus check. Like they hit the lottery. $200. And maybe because I live in an expensive state and like life is expensive and I'm not proud of it. But I just kept thinking, it's like $200. What the hell are you going to do with $200? It's not going to change your life. But to them, it was life changing. At least for a few minutes. $200. That was like $200. Like having $2,000 or something. I don't know. But all I was looking at, I'm going, $200. Whoop-de friggin' do. It's gone in a blink of an eye. But again, different thing to excite folks differently. But this warmongering, screaming Elizabeth Warren, she just needs to shut the hell up. But she's not going to, because her hand's in the cookie jar too, and all her friends. They're getting ready. They're getting ready to look at all these people in Congress on how they've made tens of millions of dollars on a $100,000 or $200,000 a year salary before taxes. So they know that they're next. We're going to expose all this stuff. If I were you, you should be applauding him because you're not making that kind of money. I don't care Democrat, Republican. I want the Republicans that are going to get busted too. There's a lot of bad apples on both sides. They all make deals quietly in the back. They need to go. They need to go. But here, this old crow, holy crap. Real quick video.
And we don't know what all they have on us. We don't know what all they have on us.
Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch. Maxine Waters, another screamer. Fear-mongering, yelling. She needs to go. Because they do know what she's worried. It all comes out. See, they slip up. We don't know what they've got on us. That's right. But they know that they've got something. Because they've done wrong. They've done you, the American people, we, the people. You just don't feel it. Because that money's gone. You don't know where it goes, but it definitely didn't go to help your infrastructure. Didn't go to help build better buildings, better roads. Whatever happened to Build Back Better? Somebody call me tonight and tell me what they got built back better in their area. Everything's crumbling. But they've taught you to hate the orange man. I get it. Again, I was a Democrat. I don't want to hear no shit. I don't care Democrat, Republican. I want what just makes sense. And if they screw up, we go to the next possibility. But I know things were going awry. I don't need, drag queen Sundays, storybook readings and stuff like that. Don't need it. It's not necessary for getting, educated and raising your kids. It's not necessary. If you want to have that as an adult, go. Just leave it out of, I don't want to play your reindeer games. I can put up with it. I don't have any problem with it. I just don't need it personally. So don't force it on me and force me and everybody else to have to build different surroundings just for the 0.1%. Just go live your life peacefully and do what you want to do. That's all I say. Speaking of pieces of crap and propaganda news agencies, Rachel Maddow, this dude, I don't know how the hell this dude survives and can go to bed and sleep at night. This dude is the biggest lying, well, one of the biggest. There's a whole handful of them, but definitely up there in the top. And just spreads lies, is willing to read whatever they put in front of him and say it with confidence too. And just go to and walk away feeling good. It's like, all I can say is life will catch up to you someday. But there was a rumor going around that Elon Musk had a $400 million contract to armor plate Teslas for the military, electric military vehicles. So in other words, now Elon's in there and he's giving himself contracts and he's going to make all this money and all that. Farthest from the truth, but hey, don't believe me. Let's hear it from this dude spreading. But that's the problem. People like this spread this crap. You believe it because you don't go any further to look about it, and this is what happens. But here, check this out.
Elon Musk has apparently somehow convinced the United States government, specifically the United States Department of State, that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying, quote, armored Tesla production units. Isn't it great and definitely not at all illegal or profoundly corrupt? Definitely not ripping us all off to pay themselves, right?
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk. Joe Biden gave it to him.
Thanks, Jesse Waters. I like Jesse Waters. He's got a good news entertainment show. Bunch of segment producers. A man can dream. Yeah. That contract was given to him and he won the contract. But guess what? The Orange Man said, no way, Jose. Don't need that. Who the hell needs electric vehicles in the military? What are we going to have? Charging stations during war? But this is the crap that gets put into your head and you believe it because him spreads that crap, those lies. I saw it. In fact, I saw it on Facebook the other day. Somebody I know put that article out that they got. And then you won't click on the article to find out that they took it back because it's no longer valid. And it wasn't given by the Orange Man. It was given by the Biden administration. Just promoting all this new Green Deal, crap. Just saying, tape don't lie. That's tonight's motto. And don't shoot the messenger. Elon's just trying to do what's right. I got to give him credit. He doesn't need to be doing it. Neither does the Orange Man. They don't need to be doing it. But don't believe me? Here, how they're scamming and stealing. How about $4.7 trillion that we can't account for in our Treasury Department? Didn't hear about that? Want to hear about that? I think you should learn about this right now. Here's the older millennial from TikTok. I like this guy. He's going to be on the show one day.
What if I told you that under Democrat control, the federal government spent $4.7 trillion that intentionally cannot be tracked? Because that happened. So quick explanation of how this happened. Any money spent by the Treasury is supposed to have an attached Treasury Access Symbol, or TAS. This is basically just an identification code. And it links any money spent by the Treasury with an actual budget line item. Like they said here, it's a standard financial process. If you're going to spend money, you got to tell us what it's being spent on. Fucking simple. However, the TAS field was left optional for $4.7 trillion in payments, and the vast majority of the time was left blank, making traceability of what that money was spent on almost impossible. That's $4.7 trillion fucking dollars that we can't track. It's $4.7 trillion that we don't know if any of it was approved because it's not linked to anything actually approved in the budget. By the way, that amount of money, that equates to about $15,000 per American that's alive today.
True story. It's all going to come out now. They're just talking about this. This is fresh news. This isn't old school stuff or old news. They're just tapping. They're just scratching the surface. And if they could find that so quickly and easily, wait till they actually break down what they really want to go into. And again, this is for your benefit. You, we, the American people. $4.7 trillion. They don't even, they know, the deep state knows where that money is, but none of our business. None of our business. You don't know and you don't need to know. You just go along your way. Go watch a football game or something. Same thing with the Social Security thing. If you've got nothing to hide, like what's that saying? The truth fears no questions or something. Like, you can ask me anything, because whatever comes out of my mouth, to the best of my knowledge, I'm telling accurate information. If I make a mistake, I'll apologize, but I'm not intentionally lying. So I don't care. I don't care what I say 3 years ago, because I got nothing to hide. I'm an open book. But if you've got something to hide, you get all defensive. A lot of people are resigning and leaving their jobs and making up excuses because there's a whole bunch of shit getting ready to go and be discovered, and they know it. Here, real quick, our Social Security system, the head of Social Security, resigned. It's like, why would you resign? Why would you resign? You got something you don't, something you're ashamed of? Doesn't make sense. Why would you give up a great job like that? I'm sure it's head of Social Security. Must be a decent paying job. You're the head of Social Security, and you're willing to walk away. I don't know what job it was last week I talked about. They just walked away, gave up their pension, everything, because they got something to hide. Check it out.
So the head of Social Security resigns because she claims she doesn't feel comfortable providing the documentation that Doge is asking for. Are you tired of winning yet? This is fucking just getting started.
I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable answering questions that I can't answer, because if I do, I'm going to incriminate myself, is what it really comes out to. Just saying. Not me. Why would you resign? Why would you get upset about anything? Why? Unless you got something to hide. If you're open book, you're doing things the way you're supposed to be doing it, even if there's something going on in your system that's got nothing to do with you, it's got nothing to do with you. Why are you going to hide? Why are you going to cover for somebody? Risk your own career. But yet you resign? Pay attention, people. It's getting ready to get good. But next thing is why we have to get rid of some of these bad apples. Now, this is Mitch McConnell, who has had strokes and he has been like a rhino. And he might be a Republican, but I've watched this man say he's going to do something at the very last minute at 2:30 in the morning when they're voting, vote completely opposite. How this guy gets to stay in position and they don't get voted, I don't understand it. I still don't understand it. But that goes to show you that, again, there's bad apples on every side. But this is like, they will not let this guy leave office, leave the Congress and all that, because he's a vegetable at this point. What happened? That was the same thing with well, here, check this out first, and you'll get what I'm talking about. You've seen several examples of this, and if you haven't, well, here's one example of our leaders in the state, Senate, Congress, all the above. Here you go.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator Benny. Yep.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
Please speak up. His friggin' brain started buffering. He lost internet connection. That's not the first time I've seen that. It's like I've seen him do this 3 or 4 times on camera in the past 6-8 months. But they're keeping him in power because they just tell him what to do. Sign this, sign that. They did it with Dianne Feinstein, too. She was a vegetable, and they're wheeling her into Congress, into the Washington. And she had no clue whether she's coming or going. That's wrong. And nobody's saying anything. It's like, time to go. You're old. You're ill. Time to go. I'm not blaming him for being ill. I am blaming him for being, a two-faced, politician. Cheers. Woo. One more. Oh, just getting warmed up. I want to open up the phones. If anybody's got anything to say, if you want to rebuttal this, you can. You can call me. We can talk about it. If you don't call, I just had to make this point that we're blaming Elon. Let me get here. There we go. You got something to say? I want you to give me a call right now. 818-259-7983, and I will open up the phones and listen to whatever you have to say, whether you disagree or agree. I yet to get people who disagree. I mean, I don't think I could be, again, I'm not really, I am taking sides because I'm taking sides because it makes sense. I think I've played both sides of people that were saying one thing at one point and then completely, now that the orange man's in office, completely saying something else. It just doesn't make sense to me. 818-259-7983 is the number. That's it. I just want to show you that they're making you, they're leading you, they're pushing you to hate Elon Musk now, who everybody used to love. He's an innovator. The friggin' guy's he's a friggin' close. I don't know what a genius is, but he's pretty damn close to one. If he's not, he's got 8 different things going on, and he's doing this for free. He's getting off more on wanting to set things straight. Same thing like the orange man. I don't care. I know, there's some people who say, I knew him when he was building buildings back in the 70s and 80s and all this. And, he never paid this person or that. Okay, look, what's done is done. I'm talking about here and now. I think he has seen the light. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We'll find out. But so far, he's shooting pretty damn straight. And he talks to people every single day. He's talking to the media, telling you. He's not reading off of cue cards. He remembers names. He doesn't need a script to read. So you know what you got. And he's shooting pretty straight from the hip, whether you like it or not. At least you know what you've got. He just did an interview with Sean Hannity that they're playing right now, yesterday and tonight. If you haven't seen it, I don't care that it's on Fox News. The point being is that the other media stations won't run those interviews because they don't want you to know the truth. It's a pretty damn good interview. You can probably find it on YouTube. It's Elon Musk and the Orange Man together, sitting, being interviewed together. Pretty good. Hang on a second. Let's take this. Hi, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this?
Hey. Hi.
Hey. Turn down your radio, please. It's feeding back.
Yeah, gotcha.
Hi, what can I do for you?
Yeah, just calling into the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you found the right place. What's on your mind?
No, I just thought I'd call in and say I agree, but also I'd like to ask, what would the Orange Man and Musk have to do for people to be on their side? I mean, is there anything they could do at this point? Because we've seen them do quite a few miraculous things while in office for just 3.5 weeks. 3.5 weeks. And they found $40 billion. And they want to give 20% of it back. They're talking about it. Haven't decided yet. Giving 20% back to the taxpayers that have paid in. So what would they have to do that would make people change their mind? Is there anything anyone would change their mind on? What would that be? Stopping federal taxes? Would it be a better education system? What would it be? What do you think, Peter?
I think that's a good question, but I think it's going to take a little more time because I think that's the only way that they are going to really get the people who've been programmed to be so against him is by showing, not just talking. And he understands that. And I think, but unfortunately, There's so much screw up. It's going to take a little time. That's why I tell people, talk to me in a year from now, which is a long time, but it'll fly by before you know it. And I think they're going to get some major things done that are going to be undeniable, to where it's going to shut some people up. They're going to have to say, okay, I was wrong, if they're big enough to.
Well, and okay, so if we're looking at that, for example, like a year down the line, hopefully some of these bad players in the political world and in the elite world will be so far out of the picture that they won't be able to, like Elizabeth Warren, for example, who lies coming and going. I'm Native American. Oh no, I'm not Native American. Did you pay back that money, Elizabeth Warren? Did you pay back the money for the scholarships you got, claiming to be Native American? I think not. Oh, I don't receive any money from pharmaceutical payouts. And then it comes out. Yeah, you do, Elizabeth Warren. You're lying, coming and going. The video I saw today, though, that I just love. We've seen all the evidence of U.S. aid going to foreign countries. Have you seen the videos that are speculating that now it's going to our politicians? It's speculating. I can't say this is fact yet, but people like Pelosi are on that list.
Sure.
So what does it take for people to open their eyes and go, oh, okay. Oh, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I think it's going to take some time, and I know that they're going to start investigating our own senators and Congress people, because they have way too much money for a salary that's between $100,000 and $200,000 a year before taxes.
Yeah. I mean, look at not only them, but look at past presidents. Look at the past presidents. That Obama is a perfect example. How much is his house? Where does he live? What's his net worth? 132. What is it? Million? How did that happen?
And that's just his money. That's not even Big Mike's money.
I know, yeah, Big Mike. Oh.
Yeah. Well, you know, the Orange Man's the only president that has actually left the White House poorer than when they came in.
Oh my gosh, yes. And you would think he signed, forgive me, what is it called? All those things they sign when they first get into office?
Executive orders.
Yes, an executive order. Thank you. He signed an executive order within the past week, I believe. If I'm wrong, please correct me. That anybody who causes SAs a child gets the death penalty. Why are people not throwing him a parade right now? But he did it right before he released the Epstein list. Why is this not national news? Oh, yes, because most of the people that bring us the national news are probably on.
Oh yeah. I'm waiting. Again, this is all going to come out. It's just a matter of weeks, time, days, months. But I think it needs to all come out, and to where we can get these people who have bought into the propaganda to say, listen, it's okay to be wrong. They sold it well. You went for it. I get it. But now, come on, time to stop. And it's time to, that they painted the picture. Orange Man, not so bad. You may not like him. He's rough around the edges, but look what he's doing. And
yes,
that's a hard habit to break, because they're all in.
And I think that one of the things they did was they gave people the power to go after anyone who spoke up for Orange Man. So not only do we have these people speaking against him, but people who really like him, who believe in his policies, who can see what he's actually trying to do for our country, they're still a little shy to speak up. But let me ask you this, and this goes with this. When did it become so bad. It's like, it's so bad to believe in America and to want America to be great. It's so bad to say, I'm a white girl. Like, oh my God, you're the biggest KKK. You're the biggest racist. How did they program this so well into people?
A little at a time, year
Yeah.
after year after year. They just, again, that just the subtleness, the way they've come in and done this until they've just made it bigger and bigger to where they're totally sucked in and don't even realize it. I hate what colleges are promoting and teaching to our younger kids nowadays, because they're indoctrinating them with this the same mentality, anti-Americanism and all this, and it's just pitiful. It's just it's horrendous.
College. Peter, it's starting in kindergarten.
That too.
It's starting in kindergarten.
My daughter comes home, and she's only in junior college right now, but she's telling me some things about, this teacher or that teacher. And it's like, thank God her head's on straight to where she's doing, she's got to do the class and get through it, but she can't wait to get out, and just because it's just like, they call us a cult. It's like, I beg to differ.
Yeah. And if you say anything, they try to use guilt and manipulation to try to make you feel badly about it.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Again, they just kicking and screaming. They scream really loud. It really isn't a big percentage of people. I think majority these of the American population wants change. That's why they voted for this. But we just sit there and kick back because it's like, you want change? I'm looking at it. I'm seeing it every single day. This is like a soap opera. I can't wait to turn on the TV to see what's he doing today. My God. That small population, though, they've learned to just scream, and it seems like a big population, but it really isn't.
No, because they've given them so much
power,
trust, so much power, so much like on the news. That's one thing I would really like. Obama signed that law that the news doesn't have to, news broadcasters don't have to be honest.
Right. The Smith-Mund Act.
Thank you. I would love to see that overturned, and then as each one of them tries to propagandize, they just get taken right out of their chair during the news. I mean, that would be beautiful.
I just would think, and then I'm going to let you go because the phone's ringing, but I would just think that the media would have learned after they got their ass waxed in this last election, okay, it's time to straighten up, and they haven't learned anything.
No, because they're still, I think most Americans are really unaware of the fact that as much as they want to believe we're in charge of our country, we haven't been for years and years and years.
I know.
And it's all an agenda. But I'll let you go. You have another call.
All right. Thanks for calling. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye-bye.
Hi, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this? Hello. Hi, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this? I know you're there. Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo. Oh, I just lost my caller. It's a pretty damn good interview. Probably find it on YouTube. Uh-oh. Hi, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this?
Hey, this is your Steve.
Wow, what's up?
Hey, man, great show. Just want to call and say, hey, great show.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. You don't have anything to gripe about?
Well, yeah, I do, but man, you laid it all out perfectly.
I hope I laid it out enough for the people who don't understand.
Hey, God willing.
I've been catching a lot of flack. I don't read comments because there's just too many on all the platforms, but I get things brought to my attention. And somebody got on, so I was told that here I am at some of my points trying to preach unity and and not division, but yet I called some people libtards. And I guess I had to just redefine what I say, is because although I do want everybody to get along, and I think you said it last week about how I can get along with people even though I disagree, but there's some people that you're never going to reach. They're so far gone, And those are the people that you just got to let them be whoever the hell they are. And those are the who I called libtards. I go, I completely disagree with you, and you're never going to agree with me, and it is what it is. So be it. I can't make everybody happy.
No, and the bottom line is you don't know what they're calling you.
Oh, no, I do know what they're calling me. It's a lot worse than libtard. That's for sure.
So libtard is kind of tame.
I think it is. It's not a vulgar language. I mean, but I get called a friggin' an effing idiot and a friggin' clown. You name it. I've seen it all. But it doesn't bother me because they just. I'm not trying to convince anybody, even the people that are on the fence. You saw, if you were watching tonight, I had videos that show people from their past what they're talking about to their radical change to now. It's like, how does that happen? So they're two-faced.
Yep, and tape doesn't lie.
No, tape don't lie. That's the old recording, adage. It's come into my life once again. We'd be recording and they're going, man, you're laying back on that beat too much. I go, I don't know. And they go, rewind it and listen. It's like tape don't lie. So here we are, in modern day video of everybody just contradicting themselves.
Yeah, the only problem is people have been programmed to not even acknowledge that the tape is existing.
Yeah, well, that is true. They definitely don't mention it. But again, that's why I'm showing it. I'm not telling even after they see it what to believe, but you got to judge for yourself. And I didn't make these tapes up. I'm just showing them. I mean, it is what it is. So either you accept it, and some people are never going to accept it no matter what. It's just that simple.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, just wanted to call you and tell you a great show tonight. And I'll be listening again next week.
Thank you very much. Share, because I'm fighting the odds of algorithm manipulation and all that, because people just don't want to hear the truth. And when I'm fighting some of these platforms, but the only way I can do it is by you, the people.
All right, man. I try to share it as much as I can.
Thanks for calling, brother. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Well, I swear, I just want to hear some people that are aggravated with me that don't agree with me, because I want to know why. I hear it all through the week. I'll get the comments. I can't get them to come on the show and just do that. But either way, I appreciate you. I do. I want to thank everybody for watching Life of Peter G, The Peter G Show, every Wednesday, like clockwork, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. on the East Coast, right here, live, God willing. We're here. I'm here for a reason. I hope that everybody stays well, does well. Share. Please subscribe. Go to my YouTube. I need help. Following helps. Facebook. Don't forget about the audio podcast. You busy? I know it's hard to watch the show during the week and things like that. It's a long show. Show's an hour and a half plus. But while you're driving in the car, while you're at work, while you're at the gym, while you're walking, while you're doing anything, put an earbud in your ear, Google Peter G Show podcast. You can take the audio version on the road with you. Just put it in. Over 400 shows. Lots of topics. If you want to stay current, stay current. If you want to learn about things, come and learn about things. I have shows just like next week. Next week, Wednesday, February 26th, we're going to go into men's health, depression, and suicide. Happens more than you think. Going to have Jeff come on the show. He's going to talk about it. He's living proof. He's having to deal with it himself. You're not alone. This happens way more than I care to talk about, but that's what I'm saying. I talked about this a few years ago. I've had shows on this. There's all kinds of shows. So that's why I want you to join me next Wednesday, February 26th, right here. We're going to talk about men's health, depression, suicide. You're not alone. Happens way more than you think. And Jeff's going to open up, talk about his life and what he's trying to do and how he's coping with it and how he's been coping with it most of his life. It's the story, I'm telling you, blows me away because I just don't understand. But that's the problem. You get in your own head and you just start going south. And before you know it, you're way too far gone. And God forbid, some of these people have just ended it all. And I know that had they been in a better state of mind, they would have, not done what they've done. And it's a ripple effect. It affects the families, the children, it's just a sad state. Join me next week, please. It's important. Information with a purpose, all right? Entertainment with a purpose, all the above. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please join me next week. And as a reminder, as always, I thank you for listening, hopefully learning, help spread the word. All right. We all have people. I know there's people on every side that has friends and stuff that we all don't have to disagree, but we, don't get into arguments over this stuff. It's not worth it. But I'm just trying to enlighten people. I'm not telling you how to think, what to think. I just put the information out there to make you think. Hopefully. Life's a bitch. You don't have to, let me take this off here. We don't need that no more. Life is a bitch. It's hard out there, man. People are struggling. And some people, having harder problems than others. So they may bark at you, snap at you, and I hope not. We need to all just get along. They don't want us to all get along. They want to keep us divided. But think before you speak. You don't have to take a bunch of crap from people, but you also don't have to, be an ass either, okay? Life is short. Getting shorter, too. I called several people with birthdays today, and just how the years have flown by. And we talk about that stuff, It is what it is, all right? Just be safe. Live life. We need to get back to where we can all enjoy life. Prosperity. Nothing is better than when everybody is doing well. I'm telling you, everybody's happy. Please, do your best. Hang in there. Have faith, all right? My name is Peter G. Thanks again for watching Life with Peter G, The Peter G Show. We will see you next week like clockwork, God willing, as always, all right? I love you guys, and peace out.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorced dad, single